What is up, Pokemon Unite players? Hope everyone's having a great Pokemon build day and actually getting win streaks. Today, we're talking about why legendaries kind of just suck and ruin Pokemon Unite. Mewtwo is recently added, and oh my goodness. At first, it was like I really didn't care. I was really hoping the developers kind of learned their lesson with Zacian. Zacian. I call him Zacian just because that's just how I learned it. But in general, when the Pokemon first came out, Zacian, he was so oppressive, it felt like it... I know we're used to insane releases, you know, we had some crazy ones over the years between... I always remember Duraludon, Serena, way back if you guys remember the Dragonite release. You know, some Pokemon have really just, like, ran shit when they came out. And if they're not on your team, then you... I don't want to say you lose, but it's really hard to win. And then if they are on your team, it's pretty much just a battle of, well, who's the better new release Pokemon. And Mewtwo is 100% that, with a few more egregious things. Mewtwo is really strong because everything is sure hit. From what I understand, it's pretty much if you're in his area, he sees you, he presses one button, it's gonna do damage, and it's gonna have a follow-up on you. His speed seems pretty good, attack speed, all that pretty good, but on top of that, he's like an all-arounder physical attacker at the same time, so he does good damage with the projectile, and if he ever gets close to you, once he evolves, it's like, it's worse than Zacian. That's why it's kind of crazy to me. So Zacian would really see your team, hope to get a good, I'm not even sure what the move is called, I just call it the circle attack, where he hopes to get you guys in a good bunch, and it would instantly destroy you. You know, he would leap onto you, there was nothing you could do because he couldn't be stunned, and it would just, hey, you're in the circle, it would just swallow you up, whirlwind, swipe you to death instantly. And that was pretty damn bad. It's pretty hard to deal with. You know, they said you could fight him as a group. I feel like Mewtwo is literally, like, it seems to have almost, I'm not sure stats-wise, he seems to be able to survive longer in the close range, and he doesn't need to seem to rely on a move to kill you. It seems like he can just press A, because I just see him pop, pop. He might as well be Machamp. Like, once he evolves, he just becomes Machamp, who also happens to have an amazing projectile attack that could just obliterate you, on top of his Unite move, which is like, I know no one talks about his Unite move, but what in the world? If you play a squishy Pokemon, and the Unite move, like, if Mewtwo is way ahead of you, like, let's say he's level 8, 9, and you're 6, 7 in the early game, you know, you weren't the jungler, you're just, things weren't going super great for you. When you're at that point and the Unite move hits you, it just puts you at, like, 40%. And, like, the AoE move that just rains down from the heavens. It's just very crazy to me that this is a real move. It's not like it's OP, but, I mean, I wish any other Pokemon in the game could just hit you from no matter where you are on the map. No matter if you're doing an objective, you know, he can steal objectives this way. He could just pick up random kills. I've seen it actually, him get a 5k through just, you know, people are at top fighting, he's at bottom, uses it, they get blasted from the heavens. I mean, it's just really crazy. Like, imagine if any other Pokemon had this. Like, if Dragonite had this, Dragonite would die for a Unite move like this that actually gets value. It's really crazy to me, and I'm just not sure why Timmy, the company that deals with Pokemon Unite, is like making this a thing. I feel like they're harassing us with legendaries. Like, hey guys, this is really awesome, we're gonna have legendaries, you can go buy them, enjoy these Pokemon you've always thought were the coolest, strongest Pokemon ever. I really like the concept, and like, wow, it feels so cool before they release, but I don't understand why making them story accurate is like important at all. For anything, to me personally, it really hurts the game when it comes around. I know it makes money, you know, everyone buys Mewtwo. I know it makes money. I know Inteleon wasn't the best release for them probably because people didn't really swamp to buy it. But man, I don't feel like the money it makes is worth the trade-off for the amount of just disruption, sadness that it brings so many other people who don't have the Pokemon. And then I don't know if it hurts the player base. I can't see the actual numbers, but this would feel like it hurts the player base. It does. Like, you can't even play the Pokemon that you want to play And then if you just see a Mewtwo, you just get squashed. This bottom line is legendary Pokemon squash every other Pokemon in the game consistently. You know, you can't even play them in tournament. That's the biggest tell to me. You can't play them in tournament. So, like, I understand we get to play them in ranked because Timmy needs to make money. But it sucks. There's no way around it. It sucks. I wish this whole legendary Pokemon, you know, it was bad enough when OP Serena was put in and it's like, oh man, this Pokemon dashes everywhere, it's really strong and yada yada. Well, I wasn't even prepared for what the level of Zacian and Mewtwo, and now it's like, I don't even, please, leave every other legendary away from me. Like, don't even add anymore. Obviously, there will be more in the future, but oh man, I don't want them at all now, at all, period, zero. You can keep every single legendary Pokemon ever. Just add random trash Pokemon I've never even heard of. Add Weedle at this point to make me re-enjoy the game, because legendary Pokemon just are no fun to fight. They're almost impossible to outplay because the damage numbers are simply too high. I know Zacian now got a nerf. I know he's not what he used to be. He seems like he's still very effective at times. His game plan is a little simple, so he's easy to destroy, but it still seems like his damage and like that can really he still has that legendary like strike ability. So I guess it's like, it's not so much that you want to take that away from them, just you don't want them doing 5,000 damage in a strike and multi-hitting everyone on the team with consistency. You know, it's how consistent the strikes are, how they can seem to avoid stuns, good movement with the abilities. Like I'm saying, the speed really matters. When Mewtwo goes to Mewtwo X or Y, whatever form it is, he just gets that speed boost, hunts you down, bam, 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 you're destroyed, and nothing's stopping him. You know, he siphoned HP from you because he got the kill, bam, 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 next guy, bam, 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 destroy you, side stride, throw the ball. You know, it's so bad. It's just like, the speed is there, the attack is there, the flowchart is really strong, and I don't see how you just wipe him off the map. You know, you don't, it's not like, oh, let's just all destroy Mewtwo. He's not really that easy to hit. It's just weird. It's weird, and I kind of hope that this stops happening somehow, some way. I'm sure it will happen probably 10 more times. I can't even imagine the Pokemon we get next. If we ever got, like, Kyogre or Groudon, like, anything like that, I don't know, I want to say, oh, we couldn't get that. You know, if we ever get anything like that, some, like, oversight, some real legendary who's known to, like, destroy the world, oh my god, can you imagine how strong they're gonna be? Can you imagine how much problems this is gonna create? Because it seems like the lore is equal to the Pokemon strength. So, like, oh my god, just maybe a legendary who's, like, a little bit more of a a playful small boy legendary like Mew. I know when Mew was added, you know, he wasn't even considered as a legendary. I know he's still a very strong character, very high tier character, but in the way that, like, I feel like your lore is very essential to how well you can do on the field. So if the story says, hey, this Pokemon flew around the heavens and caused mass destruction for years on end, oh god, like, oh god, be ready, because you're just going to suffer against him, and they're going to make sure of it. So that's really all it is to me, is like, they seem to be very accurate to the lore of how strong the legendary Pokemon is, which literally makes it for 99.9% of the player base pure suffering, because, let's be honest, we don't all have money. I would assume a lot of young people play the game. I can't see the player numbers, but from what I see on Twitter, it's a lot of younger people play the game, a very strong young crowd of what feels like maybe 15 to 26. Like, I feel like that's a lot of the Pokemon Unite players, and not all those people have access to money, and even then, not all those people want to just go play an OP Pokemon. You know, you want to keep playing the Cinderace you love, the Glaceon you love, the Espeon you love, the Umbreon you love, all that stuff. And I just don't want it to feel like, hey, this guy has to be on your team. Oh, he's not on your team? Well, you lose. Oh, he is on your team? Is he as good as the other guy who's been playing this Pokemon all day? Is he running the comfy combo with him? You know, you can start making combos around these broken mon. It just sucks. Every time. I hope there's somehow, some way we can get away from this. I am aware there was a letter released by Timmy saying how they'll deal with legendaries. Honestly, I didn't read it at all. I don't care. I just want to see what they actually do. I don't care what they say. if another Pokemon releases and he's 2 times the power of Machamp and 3 times the range and accuracy of Pikachu, then I don't care what was said in the letter. You know, it's really important that they show through legendaries, like, somehow, some way, hey, on release, we're not going to make them so clearly broken that they're going to be banned in tournament, that you must pick, and if you don't pick, it's 3 months of suffering until we do slight nerfs over time to whittle this Pokemon down. That's all, really. It's just a very weird time in Pokemon Unite. I felt like the game was so balanced before all of this was going down. I really did. I felt like the game was so balanced. Everyone was having a good time right after the Zacian era. We were all enjoying our Mon again. There was no must-pick Mon. Inteleon came out, and that didn't even destroy everything. It was awesome. Like, hey, if you like him, you can go play him, but he's not a must-pick. It was awesome. And now we're just like, we're back to like, oh, the worst world of Pokemon Unite. But, alright, the dog's barking next door, so I don't want to ruin my video. Hopefully you guys are having fun with Pokemon Unite still. Hopefully you can all enjoy Worlds and all the cool stuff that's going on in the Pokemon realm around the summertime, because it's always so cool. Blaziken's coming up. Hey, maybe that'll be our answer to Mewtwo. Maybe he'll be able to one-tap Mewtwo and kick his head off. And maybe he can get outranged by other Pokemon so he can actually have a counter. You know, just some outplay, just some answers. But alright, you guys go have fun, enjoy Pokemon, enjoy the summer, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.